To be clear, my shirt is an homage, all right? Because it's not accurate. I am not the liquor. John Dunsworth, the man who plays Mr. Lahey on the Trailer Park Boys, he is the liquor, and we are proud to present our Q&A with the man himself right here on B-Movie Banter, brought to you by Gulfview Liquor of Winona, featuring lower and lower prices on beer, wine, and other drinks all the time. Now you should know that when I dialed up Dunsworth, I told him that language wasn't something we needed to worry about. If you let an F or an S-bomb slip here or there, I'd take care of them. But he took it to heart. His immediate response was, ah. And here we go. First of all, thanks for joining us, John. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So, what was your first wow moment following the early success of the Trailer Park Boys? I mean, that first moment when you look around and just realize that things are different for you now.
Oh, this just right now when you called me, I just realized the international, oh, excuse me, I'm in a garage here, and I'm going to just step outside.
All right.
We got this Mobile. I bought this Mobile from Ricky. Yeah, we're getting her fixed right now. Anyway, I every day is a wow day for me. Every single day.
Director Mike Clattenburg had told you that once Trailer Park Boys began airing, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere in North America without being recognized. And I've heard in the past you confirm that assertion, that is true. I'm wondering, though, if Mr. Lahey, for you, isn't what Dracula was for someone like Bela Lugosi. It's both a blessing and a curse.
It's funny you should say that, because on all counts, I was wrong. I was in New York 2 weeks ago to Comic-Con, and, I got recognized by the hotel staff and people that weren't from New York City, but everybody from New York City didn't recognize Jim Lahey, because I think they're all very busy in their own lives there or something. I'm not sure. Maybe there's too many channels to get. But as far as being a curse, no. I'm in 3 different series this year, and one of them I just got a Best Actor award for 2 weeks ago from ACTRA, which is our Canadian alliance for Canadian television radio artists. And one of them is Haven, which is just starting to air next week here in Canada, 4th season, and we're hoping to get a 5th season. And I have had the best year of my life. I'm living the dream. I was in a major motion picture called Lizzie Borden out of L.A. I taught 2 separate classes of young actors. I've been touring with Randy. I just got back from Newfoundland with Randy. We did a tour there last weekend, 2 places, Corner Brook and St. John's. It was wonderful. The week before that, I was in Sampson, out in Calgary. And tomorrow I'm shooting in town because I'm getting ready and training to go to the Santa Olympics in Sweden, and they're making a documentary on it. And so that's what Jim Lahey has done for me, my friend.
Jack Lemmon once said that the greatest compliment he could ever offer Walter Matthau was that he acted with you and not at you. Can you shed a bit of light on that idea? I mean, what's the difference between an actor who acts with you as opposed to at you?
You mean an audience?
No, just when you're interacting with their actor on screen or on stage. Well, I mean, is there what's the difference between someone who's really acting with you and is in the moment, you're both really hitting on all cylinders, and someone who's just doing their performance regardless of what you're doing?
Well, you bring up a very, very complex interaction between actors and what kind of acting's going on. I mean, you have to split it down the middle between presentational performance, which is you sort of directly appealing to the audience, and representational, when you're pretending, as you say, to be in the moment with somebody. But in film, it's way different than in the theater. I'm going back to the professional theater because that's where I sort of cut my teeth for 25 years. But I've been offered a role. I start on December 27th after I come back from Santa Clara tour with Ricky, Julian, Bubbles, and Randy, and we're going to the States, and we're ending up in New York, and we're starting off in Canada. But the point that I'm trying to make here is lost beyond me. So I haven't had a drink either. So there you go.
With Trailer Park Boys, obviously you had comedy covered, and with Haven, you have drama here. So what are the challenges of portraying the Dave Tease character different from the Mr. Lahey character?
So I'd like to go back to your other question because I didn't answer it, but I said it was complicated and the dynamics were every two actors are different, of course. Mm-hmm. But in film, nowadays, with few exceptions, you don't get rehearsal. What you do is you get to run it through, and then they mark it for lighting, and then you go away, and usually the actors are pretty well by themselves. But my daughter Molly's in a film right now where she is collaborating with the other actors and actually talking about the parts, away from the set, which is a luxury. I mean, in big motion pictures, sometimes people train for weeks and weeks, but most of the stuff that I do, I can get the script the day before. There was a time this summer where I was on the set at 7 o'clock in Truro for Trailer Park Boys, season 8, and I finished at 12, drove for 2 hours to Chester, and was on the set in Chester from 2 till 9 that night, and then the next morning back up to Truro again. It was, in that kind of existence, just being able to rely on the excellence of the script. And in all cases, I've been really lucky this year because, with a few exceptions, the scripts have been fairly easy to get my head around. And what it comes down to, the magic comes down to, I think nowadays, to the excellence of the editor and the original casting with brilliant writing. And that's all that it takes, because an actor is cast to say the words and to wear the costume and to represent the zeitgeist or the ethos or the conceit. Mm-hmm. And I've been so lucky this year that I just felt at home in every set I've been on. And Tom Fitzgerald is one of those directors who gives you some rein. Well, they all do. Seriously, I guess it's because I'm older now and I don't shoot my mouth off as much.
We kind of alluded to.
I was at Santa School last weekend, 2 weekends ago in Calgary, and I got, getting ready for the Santa Olympics in Sweden, and I got stamped on my hand about 7 times with a naughty Santa stamp. So I guess I am a naughty guy.
You've brought it up a couple times here. How do you get into the Santa Olympics? What is that all about?
There's a place in Sweden where they have 13 contestants this year. Every year they have a contest to see who wins the Santa Olympics, and they have things like climbing up chimneys, reindeer riding, present wrapping, I don't know what else. And for some reason, I was asked if I would be part of this documentary that's a feature-length doc, and we're going to Rome, we're going to Finland, and we're going to look at Christmas and what it meant and what it's going to mean and all the rest of it. But in between me shooting this doc, I'm also playing drunk Santa, drunk Santa for the Christmas show, with a liquor bag beard and a socks or a hat.
You alluded to it a little bit before here, but with getting free reign with some of the, well, not free reign necessarily, but you get some rope from directors and whatnot. How much of Trailer Park Boys' end product is scripted and how much of it is improvised? I mean, how much you guys just kind of go with it and just let the cameras roll, and what you come up with, you use?
When you're doing something like the Trailer Park Boys, you have got to go in with good scripts. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have the time to, and more than 90% of it is scripted, and it's not just scripted, it's written. I have to say that Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, who took over from Mike Clattenburg, mm-hmm. been talking with lately. He's flying high right now. He's doing the sound mix for the movie Trailer Park movie number 3. He's happy as hell with it. He's also in the States right now. He's writing for a new series he's doing now there called. I think I'm not allowed to say the title, but my original point was that Mike Clattenburg worked like hell on the scripts, and he collaborated with several of the boys right from the beginning. But now Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, and I used to drop into the office in Dartmouth. For months they were there, slaving. and rewriting and writing and rewriting and working on a thing called SwearNet, which has been showing through the States right now, test audiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be opening in theaters soon. It's one of the funniest movies to come out. It's not about the trailer park. It's for a while there, when trailer park wasn't going to go forward, the boys had to keep working because they had so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
Put together this whole thing. They have their own television station called, or network on the internet, I guess. It's called SwearNet, and they have thousands of followers, and they're being pretty well servants of two masters lately, because they've been working their tools off doing all of the trailer park stuff lately. And I'm telling you that I've seen all of the episodes, or most of the episodes of season 8, and my goodness gracious, it's the best work we ever did. I got to direct one of them too, believe it or not.
Wow, best work you guys have ever done. That's really saying a lot. So definitely looking forward to it.
I have to say that about the movie too. Mike Clattenburg was on his game. I mean, when you think that the magic that we got from 420 in Ottawa, that we shot on Parliament Hill on 420, the dope day.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, the whole thing. Ricky travels to, I can't give away the plot line, but it's a great movie, and Lahey goes more Lahey than you would ever imagine.
Well, speaking of Lahey, how is it for someone like yourself who doesn't drink, how is it that you're able to play the funniest and most convincing drunk this side of Dudley Moore?
I don't know what you're saying like that. Like, I don't get embarrassed easily, so listen, excuse me, Randy, can I get another drink here? The secret to playing anything that's up to the 8th or 9th percent of it all. Hey! Listen, the secret is variety. It's the same thing. Like, if you have to cry, you don't go, you go, listen, would you leave me alone? Because I tell you one thing, it's way more fun to pretend to be drunk than it is to be drunk. No, seriously.
Oh, I don't disagree with you.
Can you imagine, like, stage 1 of drunkenness is, hey, Jimmy, can I buy you a drink? And stage 2 of drunkenness is, Jimmy, buddy, can you buy me another? Stage 3 of drunkenness is, give me my car keys. Give me my, throw you were my friend. Give me my car keys. I can drive better in reverse. I can drive better in reverse with my flashers on in the middle of the night. And it's 4. Stage 4 is, she told me not even to bother to come home, Jim. Here's stage 5. This is the really pathetic one. Hi, how are you? I've been watching you all night. You look pretty nice. Listen, if you want to, grab a cab or take me back to your place, I'll give you the best night you ever had. The only thing worse than that is number 6. It is an ancient mariner, and he stoppeth one of 3. What a long gray beard and glittering eye, wherefore stops thou me?
All right, well, we have to ask, I've always wondered with the Trailer Park Boys movie, when the scene when you're talking with Bubbles and you're going to shut down his shed, you're going to condemn it and all that kind of thing, walking backwards while draining an entire bottle of whatever it was supposed to be drinking, whether you were tripping or unable to just get it all down or you were laughing, how many takes did it require to get that shot?
Bubbles told me that, or Mike Smith, who's brilliant, genius, hardest working cat in the world. He told me that when I got in within 6 inches of his glasses, that I broke him up. I did not realize it that night. And when I got in close to him, and I started seeing him breaking up, I'm making this all up. I don't know. I just do it. It's just nothing. It's like Mike says, take the bottle in the head and just take 1 second and continue as if nothing happened. Now, I don't care, even if it is a glass bottle made out of candy glass, and you get hit in the face, it's very difficult not to know the bottle is coming and not to blink before the impact. But in one take, we took that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't run take number one from that night with me drinking from the... He probably did a safety or two, and I probably had about 100 ounces of Coke mixed with water in me. But I would have gone until my bladder burst, because once the cameras roll, I'll stand on my head.
All right, we got a couple more questions here for you. I just wanted you to see if you wanted to talk about the dictionary, how are sales going for that, and how can viewers order one up from you?
The dictionary. I put some CDs of stories that I wrote out, and you can get them on my, John Dunsworth YouTube channel. You can also watch some neat videos that I put up there. One of them is called Get a Hobby. It shows me doing stonework down in front of my place, which I'm really proud of. But if you go to, that's John Dunsworth, go to dictionary.com. That'll do it. DICTNARY, dictionary. And we had put out a couple of things that were for sale, and we thought, how can you make money on the internet? And my buddy, who's the publisher, he said, what sells on the internet? And I said, well, the only thing that sells on the internet right now is so we thought we'd do a book of systems. Jim Lahey, like double-barreled machine gun, moth, flame, everything. And so we wrote it, and I put in the Latin translations, and we put in illustrations. We put a hardcover on it. It's really nice. It was printed in Japan and then bound in the U.S., and we bought them. We got them. Took a couple months to get them, but we got 1,000 of them, and we sold them for $35 a pop. And they went in about 2 months. But this year I wanted Ryan to do a revision, but he was too busy because he's got a big company he's running. So we just had 1,500 more reprinted, and half of those are gone already. So without doing any real advertising, we're getting rich. I mean, I'm rich. I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars on that book.
All right, John Dunsworth, we can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes away from your busy schedule to chat with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.